All right, welcome back to the trading recap video of yesterday. I haven't uploaded recaps in a while, because I just didn't feel like it, to be honest. And I don't trade that much. Like, I trade every single day, but I don't take that much trades. My average trade is probably like one per week max, to be honest. My average right now, so not much to trade to do videos on. But yesterday I took a trade, and since I'm in my like kind of content arc right now, I was like, yeah, why not? So we took this trade on gold yesterday. Um, as you can see, I made 150k. There you can see the trades. I had like 4 contracts running, 2 positions, first TP here, second TP here, and no, this was from today. I'm gonna show you, but you just can see I took the trade on this account. I made like 2.3%, and on the other accounts I made like even a little bit more. I can check it up for you. But yeah, what was the trade? So it was this gap basically that we traded yesterday. And we had this lows, right? We had a low here, which we made before, I think was, yeah, before New York session opened. So this is still our sell side liquidity on London session. And then we had a good retracement to the upside where I set my, oh, that's not what I want to do. And we had a good retracement from there on to the upside into this gap, which we created with this candle, basically. Like, as you can see in the 1 hour, we created, where the fuck am I? Oh my god. Okay, where we created this gap with this close of this gap, right? So, we had a good retracement to the upside again. And my first CP was this, I'm pretty sure. Or was it this? It was a 15-minute. It was a 15-minute. Yeah, it was this. Okay, so this was my first CP here, and we can name it that way too. So why did I take this trade? Pretty simple. If we go on a 1 hour, we were pretty bearish. We had a bearish gap at like 14. We had news. Did we have news yesterday? I actually don't know. I can check. Give me a second. No, we had no big impact news. But we still had like a big Drake candle at 2. And yeah, I was waiting for this basically the whole day. And we tapped into that. We are bearish on the 1 hour because we broke structure, right? We broke the structure here of the 1 hour, continuation type thing, kind of. And we broke to the downside. Same on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we also were a little bit more of the continuation side, but we closed this candle at 12, as you can see. So we're also pretty bearish on the 4 hour, right? So we had a 1 hour break to the downside, we had a 4 hour break to the downside. The market structure shifts from continuation to bearish momentum, and we had this beautiful gap. And what is after I hit the gap, what am I gonna do? For the people who kinda saw a couple of videos on my trading recaps before, I'm gonna wait for a break of structure. It depends. On the 4 hour, I wait for a 5-minute break of structure, and on a 1 hour, I wait for a 1-minute break of structure. And well, what do we have here? I could have entered on this trade if I'm. Do I? Could I? Yeah, fuck. Okay, I could have had a little bit better risk reward, to be honest. I was a little slow, but I know I entered off this gap right here. And yeah, stop loss over the gap with a little bit more space. I think I had it on 28 if I'm sure, because when we go into the 5-minute, it's over the 5-minute. Yeah, exactly. To give it a little bit more space, we have a 1 to 3 risk reward on our first CP, which is incredible. And yeah, the overall TP was 2.4. So if we get an average on it, it would be like 3.6. Yeah, 3.6 divided by basically like around 1.9 risk reward with the exact entry that I had. And yeah, we continued the down movement, and after we hit the first TP, right, the first line of TP, I moved my stop loss to, it was, I'm pretty sure, over the 15-minute gap that we created while doing it. Yep, there it is. I moved it to here, like over the gap, right? Basically break even. This was the first stop loss I changed. Then we had a little bit retracement into the 15-minute gap here, and we retraced pretty beautiful from it. So yeah, we retraced from the gap, back down, and after we broke like this low, I changed it again. I had my new stop loss over this level. Why do I do this? Just to decrease the risk, and I don't just wanna. If I'm this crazy in profit already, you know, I had my first TP and the second position is running, I take winnings. You know, I would rather take winnings and play it more safe than just have it at my break-even level and just, you know, do whatever. But only if the movement is pretty, like you can't say obvious, but it kind of gets with experience too, right? So I just had a feeling for it. Experience like sometimes I change it, sometimes I do not change it. It just depends. I would say on the market condition and on the structure overall of the day, on the volume, and it worked. Like the worst thing that could have happened is I got out of the position with like another nearly 1% or like half a percent, or I continued to go lower, and this is exactly what we did. We continued to go lower. As you can see, we had a little bit more movement to the downside, and then before, you know, I always close my positions at the session end of London, which is 9:45, and we hit our TP at 9:35, as you can see. As you can also see here, right? I'm not making this up. We close the position on 9:35 with the candle that this is, right? So we closed the position there and we made a good amount of profit. I risked about 1.2%, if I'm correct, like 300 per position, make 600 on the 50k. And I also have the other accounts. Can't show you right now. These are not passed though, but we made bank on it. And yeah, by the way, the $80 was just a little bit over risk. I don't know if I already mentioned it, but I kind of fucked it up because I'm kind of new to like the site here. I always traded on Tradeovate, and I kind of got to get into it more, and so I fucked it up. I put two lots more and just closed the position before it got worse. Because you can see at the beginning I was like a little bit down. So yeah, I didn't want to take any dumb risk because it would have been way too much. It would be over 2% then early, so I won't fuck with that, right? But yeah, we have a 50k going on, and we made insane. I don't know, can you see it? I hope you can. I can just tell you, we made with two positions, we made 3.1k. I'm not making this up. On the 50k, we made 3.1k. Like, this is insane. I also had a way better entry on that. I think I had my entry on this account around here. So insane, and we risked 2% on it. Why? Because I gotta speedrun these accounts, okay? I actually gotta speedrun these accounts. Kind of, I don't really care too much about them, but I care enough to only take trades that I have to take, obviously. But I risked a little bit more on these accounts, you can say. So I made 3.2k nearly, like you can see at the top, 3.175 with this one trade. This is 6.3% with one trade. That's insane. That's probably the best trade I ever had on this account, at least. And we traded on a 200k account and made 5.3k on the 200k account. Right? So also, that's on now on 206k, nearly from pass. It's phase 2. So 2% more. Like this exact trade another time, and we passed that. Just gotta be patient for that to happen. And yeah, we made 2.567, 67. Yeah, we make good money, okay? We made over 2.5%, like 2.6% and nearly a half, okay, 2.6%, which is also great, right? So we made 2.3%, 2.6%, and fucking 6 point something. Like, that's ridiculous, right? This trade was really hitting, but it was an A plus setup, to be fair. You know, my A plus setups are always risk around like 1.5%, but on this account, like on a 50k, yeah, I mean, I don't, right? I mean, it was nearly 1.5%, it was like 1.2%, so it's also not bad. And since I fucked this one up already, this $100 was another like nearly 0.2% that I already lost, so I didn't want to do 1.5 on it, which is completely fine. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's it, to be honest. Somebody knocked on my door. Yeah, that was the trade that I did yesterday. Pretty simple trade. Was a A+ setup. Today didn't had much going for. I didn't take a trade today, and yeah, I can look up next week. What's going on next week? Monday nothing. Tuesday nothing. Nothing. Tradable. Nothing. Yeah. Okay. 5 days out of 5 days next week. So watch out for maybe another trading recap video. If you want to know more about my strategy, try to learn it, and like just interested in learning it, then let me know in the comments, and I will probably make some videos to all the little structurally things on the strategy and what I care about, what I don't care about. So yeah, just let me know. See you in the next video.